Hi guys, I finally have the chance to drive my brother's car. Okay, so somehow we have this car and myself has eluded each other because my brother don't actually stay here. So today we have like a family dinner and yeah, we gotta catch up with the car. Now, those of you who have seen this car, you might remember, hey, isn't it yellow? Well, actually, the previous owner painted it yellow, so my brother gave it back the rightful color it should belong to, which is its original color, black. So it's a very good looking car, isn't it? It's a 20-year-old car. It's a 1998 Accord CL1 Euro R, and I think the profile looks great on this car. It captures that the perfect mid 90s, early noughties kind of family sedan look. Clean cut, sleek, unlike the bulging mess that we have currently, because since early 2000 all cars have bulged up in size, all of them, just for the sake of better headroom, legroom. I think it's caused by motoring journalists. All the journalists is like, oh, you need more legroom, more knee room. So consumers follow journalists into, because when you're a journalist, right, you somehow need to find something to comment on, right? And then you start pointing out knee room, headroom, and all that nonsense, boot space, and all that. That's why consumers follow and they judge cars the same way. And then all cars are now huge. So these car, of course, my brother modded. All right, it has some titanium Mugen exhaust, titanium, no, not titanium, Mugen carbon fiber, air filters. Wet spot. This rim was rather popular back in the early 2000s. Okay, so yeah, this one has a 2.2 liter engine, the red top as we call it, and it makes, is it 2.2? I'm not so familiar with all this, but what I know is that this car has 220 horsepower, 222 newton meters of torque from a 2.2 liter engine, which is rather great given that era, which predates direct injection and all that. So this one has of course Honda's famous VTEC, okay, and rear wiper. That tells you this is something special, right? So the Euro Rs comes with limited slip differentials, and this was the era where from what I know from my brother, even the windscreens are lighter or something like that. Okay, let's go inside. Be mindful, this is a 20-year-old car. Okay, so it's easy to maintain a car's exterior. It's not so easy to maintain a car's interior. Okay, but overall the fabrics held up pretty well. Of course, you get some discoloration from the painted plastics. Okay, these plastics, right? They no longer use this type of plastics in their cars because this era we seldom touch hard plastics. The really cheap hard plastics that we have now. All these are soft touch plastics. Yes, that was the era where they and even these hard ones are very high quality plastics, proper Japanese plastics, I would say. As with every Type R, you have a milled aluminium knob. Okay, 3 pedals down there, and of course they've changed the infotainment systems and all that. You see, cars back then, right? The doors are thinner. Look at the door card and the doors; they are thinner. Of course, they won't pass modern crash test standards, but they were top notch back then. Okay, so and I sit very low on the driver sitting position. It's quite interesting. You look at the amount of headroom I have. Be mindful, this is a small car, and it doesn't look like a bulging mess like the new Persona or Sagas or Bezas and all that. But I get huge headroom. Okay, I'm 5'11", but as I'm seated here, everything is within reach. You look at my arms and all that. That means, right, this is the correct sitting position, and yet I felt like I was sitting really low in the car. But in terms of visibility is great. Visibility is great all around. All right, so it's nice. So when it comes to packaging, you'll be like, when you look at this car from outside, it looks small. It is a small car. If you park this next to a new Myvi or the previous Myvi, they outsize this car massively. But somehow I just find it spacious. Okay, very nice glove box, very deep, and it opens this way. So yeah, very nice. You get some holders over here, some straps. That's the airbag over there. It's 20-year-old. I'm not sure the airbag still works. Simple air conditioning only. Actually, this thing does everything, right? Except dual zone. There are no dual zones in this. Okay, some carbon fiber look-alike materials, and then you get split opening glove box. Very spacious. As I mentioned, cars back then, they need to have a compartment that can hold a few CDs. Okay, so that was the criteria back then, because your only form of entertainment is CDs in your car. Okay, and here, even 20 years ago, Honda has done this. Okay, this gives you variable storage here. So any car maker that doesn't even give any effort in doing something like that, right, you all should just go stand in front of a wall and, you know, really think about what you've done, because this is Honda 20 years ago. You see, simple mechanism, and it's perfect. Okay, I love it. I love cars where they've put thoughts in all that. You get a sunglass holder. Everything still works, I presume. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Oh yeah, that cover was there just now. Okay, nevertheless, things are still there. He loved this car. You won't be able to look at the seats because he protect them with t-shirts, but these are really nice Recaros. Okay, let's come to the back here. Nothing special. Oh, I like these. I don't know, it's Sweet or Alcantara or Nubuck or what, but it does feel like that kind of material. Now, sitting at the back here, the back passengers get a higher seating position, so you get a very commanding view over the front passengers. Let me show you. This is my eye level, so I can actually see the road right behind the Recaro seats. Something that modern cars don't get. Of course, that also means that I can only slot half a feet underneath the front seats, but overall I find space is rather alright, because it's comfortable, and full length bench, very comfortable headrest, and look at this. Yeah man, there's a bar running across it. All this hiding in here, right? Okay, so no door cards at the back here. There are no door cards, door pockets. Headroom is decent, it's comfortable. It's a comfortable car that I can sit in for a long distance. Yep, especially the seating position is really good. Alright, let's go for a drive. Yeah, there's nothing special in here except, you know, how thin the B pillars are compared to modern cars. But I mean, if every car is like this, then every car doesn't pose a danger to another car, because honestly speaking, yes, Volvos are very safe, but if this car ran into an accident with another Accord, right, both won't sustain as crazy a damage as were if this car ran into a Volvo. The Volvo would demolish this, right? Well, that car scored 5-star in the 2008 Euro NCAP crash test, but it failed the 2013 Euro NCAP crash test. Can you imagine how ridiculous they've pushed it every 4 or 5 years? You may say it's safer, but to me it's just added cost for consumers to buy, because if they made it a prerequisite that you have to, that means all cars will be made thicker, you know. Oh, huge boot, man. This boot is huge. Wow, super spacious. Look at that. Super duper spacious. Okay, nothing special. Let's go for a drive. Yeah, there's a wiper at the back. Okay, let's go for a drive. Yeah, you see a P license here. He's my elder brother, but he somehow just kept the P there. Nah, he's just trying to be hipster, maybe. Okay, let's go for a drive. I mean, for a 20-year-old car, everything is still fine. The aircon vents did not break. Maybe this is because it's from Japan. We had a family Toyota Camry. That was a 2004 one. By 2011, that car has fallen apart. But this one, the interior is still brilliant. So first off, I'm sitting rather low for an Accord. So in terms of driving position, what I'm seeing out here, I guess is similar. Ooh, the suspension is hard. So yeah, this is the kind of old suspension where, you know, sports cars, hard door. Comfortable car, soft door. Yeah, I love the direct steering. I love it. Feels good. Feels good. Now, this car has electric power steering. I kid you not. Electric power steering, where you can twist a dial to lighten it or make it heavier. It's nice. I like the fact that the air conditioning controls, you have to go from level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you go back to 1. And the shifting is so direct, very precise shifting. So very nice. And you don't have all the nonsense technology. You know, a lot of people watch my FK2 video. I mean, of course they didn't go through the comments. I don't expect them to go through the comments. But then they saw as if I'm shifting without lifting off the throttle, and they're like, oh, Bobby can't drive. Oh. Well, I was surprised the car does that. Then only I realized that a lady who explained to me that is called rev hang. And then when I tell a lot of people about this, not many people knew about rev hang. Apparently it is a thing. Rev hanging is a thing. Just so that when you are, you see, rev match is for when you downshift, right? But the FK2R has rev hang, which even when you upshift, it doesn't immediately off the throttle. Some emission combustion thingy, just to save a few mpg on tests. So yeah, the FK2 has that rev hanging thingy, which is super annoying when you're driving, because when you are driving hard, as you want to switch gear, when you lift off the throttle, it will keep the throttle there for a while, just so it doesn't suddenly like create a vacuum or whatever and suck out all the emission. I have no idea how it works, but apparently that is for emission control, and that will be the rev hang thingy. All right. So this car has none of that. It's just a normal manual, and I'm still trying to find a road that I can try and listen to VTEC kicking, yo. 3,000 RPM. Oh, you hear that? Ini mesti cuba satu kali lagi. Okay, it takes a little bit of it takes some time to reach there, but I was there just now briefly. I was there, and the way it sounded differently is quite nice. Wheel spin. Hear that? Oh, that VTEC. Oh. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Lovely, lovely. Okay, we're gonna drive smooth now. It's like, my brother, don't kill me. He's not a fast driver. He mods his car. He loves his car, but he takes care of it in absolute crazy manner. Okay. Now there's a difference between someone who has owned a car for a very long time, the way they take care of their cars, and someone who just bought a used car is very different, alright? So if you've owned a car for a long period of time, certain degradation or deterioration of the interior or exterior, you don't really mind, because it's as if the car grew old with you. But for someone who just bought a car, they would have looked at all the little imperfections and tried to throw money at it, right? So overall, for a 20-year-old car, of course, it's not because the car is super lasting for 20 years. Of course, the bushes were gone. Maybe it has went through 2 or 3 sets of suspension. That is obvious, right? But the thing is, if it's well taken care of, like what my brother had with his car, it's a very nice car to drive. A very nice manual shifter. Can I get to hear it one more time? See, the car, by modern standards, this is not a fast car. By any kind of modern standards, this car is not fast. But, you see there are 2 Civic turbos over there. Maybe one is a 1.8, the other is a turbo, 1.5 turbo. Either way, time has changed. By modern standards, this car isn't super fast, but it still pushes 220 horsepower. And when VTEC comes in at 5,000 RPM, 5,000 RPM, the engine changes character, and it just, you know, a higher pitch. I mean, that sounded really good, and it gives the car a character that a lot of modern cars do not have, because there's a duality to it. Used to the roll off. It's a little bit like when I first got in the Renault Megane, the Megane RS. Everybody at Sepang just, alright, my turn, woohoo! Because the clutch pedal and the throttle pedal takes different strength to operate, you know. So either way, I'm happy. I'm happy that I get to video this car, and yeah, I don't know what you get off from it, but I'm just happy that I've driven it. For a 20-year-old car, this is mighty good, I would say. Lovely. Yeah, I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. So this car now, okay, this is another car where if you buy one now, it's not only something that you get to use over a few years, but regardless of your mileage, as long as you keep the conditions reasonable, this is a car that will not drop in value. It will not drop in value. It will always hover around 50,000-60,000. Yeah, that's what it is. Because, yeah, man, lovely, lovely car. It's always good to have a car like that you can keep for life, because they just don't make cars like these anymore. They don't make cars like these anymore. Yeah. It's not as crazy as the FD2R, I would say. The FD2R, of course, is a great improvement of what Honda knew early on, but for something back in 1998, this car shames the Europeans. I mean, I tell you, whatever BMW 325i you throw at it, or an Audi A4 1.8 turbo, yeah, this one eats them. Eats them. Yeah. And this happened to be a really big winner of the European Touring Series. Yeah. Slaughtering the Europeans, basically. Alright. So, yep.